Well, you know, every once in a while I revisit things that I think I know everything about, and I'm always shocked because I didn't know nearly as bad things about it as I can. Fluoride, I did that with about 5 years ago in one of our magazines. I found out then something I was unaware of. When they transport fluoride, they get number 10 stainless steel tankers, and then they put sacrificial rubber linings in them. The word sacrificial should be primary. They then take it to where it is, have the same type of a circumstance under the ground where they store it, because it eats holes right through stainless steel number 10. And that's what they put in. Now, it's a waste product from the aluminum industry. That's literally what fluoride is in the form that they put it in water. But along with chloride, which was a gas created in the First World War to kill people and maim people, when they didn't have ways to sell this, they literally found inventive ways and told people fluoride's good for your bones, which is true, by the way, just not that form of fluoride. The fluoride that you need is an organic-based fluoride. When the root systems of a plant come down, fluoride in its very minor form is in every soil, healthy soil in the world, picks it up, transfers it over ionically, electrically charged to what we call organic, usable fluoride. Really great stuff. If you're eating the way we tell you, you never have to worry about fluoride. The other one, deadly poison. Pardon?
But they were able to sell this to them.
Look, I mean, look, they put red dye into food, and we have got 18,000 articles, research saying it kills you, it gives you cancer. You know, saccharin's been on and off the market more than we're old, I think. You know, it comes on, goes off, comes on, goes off. You know, shocking, dumb stuff goes on. But again, it's about lobbyists, and it's about people exhausted, and they don't understand. And, you know, I know a lot about this subject, but if you put me into the war industry, if I had to make decisions, first I wouldn't do it. But number two, if I did make decisions, I'd make bad decisions. And that's what's happened. Making congressmen who are not doctors, who are lawyers, the opposite of doctors, by the way, make decisions on that. And so this is how. You're going to be meeting who we consider a brilliant doctor who's been a biological dentist for 30 years as part of the program, providing you're here for the full program. And he's going to speak extensively on it. But all I can say to you is that mercury is only the tip of the iceberg. Root canals have definitely been linked to breast cancer, to pancreatic cancer. Definitely. I mean, this is like, you read the study, you say, holy God, you know, why the hell are we still doing root canals? And the mercury is also bad, of course. And ask him to tell you the story about that. It happened in the mid-1800s. All I remember when I was a little boy, my grandmom was born in the very late 1800s. When I would walk into a room with a thermometer there, she would freak out. How many of you are old enough to remember that? Now, in their generation, they thought about mercury the same way we do nuclear waste. We would no more live next to nuclear waste or put it in our house. So in the middle of all of that fervor and understanding about it in the mid-1800s, they realized the only people contracting dentistry could afford gold, less than 5% of the population. So they said, well, if we want to make this a mass profession, we've got to now melt metal, and the only thing they had to melt metal was what? Mercury. So the first generation of dentists, they only got a handful of schmucks to do it. By the second generation, they said, oh, we did this research and it really doesn't hurt you. By the third, before you know it, and why the highest suicide rate of any profession, by the way, because the mercury toxins in the brain, is the dental profession. Did you know that? Yeah. Also, high incident, not the top, but one of the highest incident cardiovascular, but mental illness and suicide is number one. And they convinced everyone it was a safe thing, just like they convinced everyone that putting chlorine gas in water was a good thing. Grant you, they had a lot of good reason to do that. Not that it was the right thing, because in the world still today, in 2009, almost everyone that dies, the majority of people that die from waterborne infections. Did you know that? And how simple it would be if we got off our arrogant fat asses and sent to African, South American, all over the world, filtration systems, so that their babies wouldn't be dying. Amoebas and parasites and all the other things. You know how cheap a water system would be for a village, to put in one village? Craziness. So yeah, bad stuff, really bad stuff. Any questions? Questions? Well, hold on, we'll come back to you again. You came late, so wait, sit down.
You came early.
I know.
I wanted to ask about allergies. I know there are two kinds of tests for them. And on one test, like almost nothing shows up. And on another test that I had, like everything showed up. think that some of the things are false positives?
Well, number one, I've never been a major fan of any allergy testing. If you've done cytotoxic, I found that to be the best. But again, am I a fan of it? Do we do it here? Okay. So the way we've really discovered what's going on truly is have you do it for us. You get on a monolithic diet, anyone that has an allergy, and ideally you separate all your food consumption by 2 hours. You eat a type of food. Now that doesn't mean one type always. If you have all green sprouts, it can be all green sprouts one time. But a type or very, very, very similar types of food. Then you keep a little log, and you have 3 questions on there. Good, fair, poor. And you just check them off. You do this for about 2 months, and because you're an alumni, this is all free for you. You send me the calendar, which would be 60 days, 61, 62 days, 2 months exactly. And also then, observation of about 8, 9 foods, depending on how long you stay up every day. Were they good, were they fair, were they poor? Now, knowing the chemistry of the majority of foods, or learning the ones I don't know about, when I look at that chart, I can literally say, oh, she's reacting to this particular chemistry within that particular food. Then if we take it away, 1.5 to 2 years, in about 97% of the cases, you'll no longer have an allergy. And what usually happens, you may be knowing you're allergic to wheat, as an example. But then there's other grains that have very similar compositions as wheat. If you don't get rid of them, you'll still have a wheat allergy. So this is why we need long-term, real, you have to do it. I mean, these testing are good speculation at best.
So are you saying that for 2 months you are doing this every day? You're
Correct.
just eating one food at a time?
Correct. And you're taking the supplements we suggest, you're drinking the green drinks, but you're also separating foods, observing them and putting them down good. No reaction, feels good, my belly's nice. Fair, sort of felt something, not really sure, but boy, did this really knock me on my ass. Boy.
But for some foods, doesn't it take more than 2 hours?
No, because if you do this for 60 days, that number of times, it's apt to show up within that period of time.
And so you're repeating the same foods?
Oh, no, obviously not. As wide a variety of foods as you can possibly eat without being crazy about this and trying to eat a brand new food every day. As wide a variety of the foods that are healthy. We're not talking about put shit food in there and tell me it's hurting it. You know, healthy food, basically. Basically, that's what we need to see. That's really the best thing. I finally figured that out about 25 years ago. I was getting frustrated looking at things and they weren't working out. Looking at studies. Not to say I don't like them, I just don't use them because I don't think they're accurate.